Hey guys, it's LEGO Boys E3. Today I'm going to show you how to solve the 2x2. So this should just be a quick beginner's tutorial on the 2x2. I noticed that my last version of this video had a lot of views and it wasn't a very good video, so I decided to remake it. Anyway, this cube requires no prior cubing knowledge, however it does definitely help to know how to solve a 3x3 before you solve this one. So if you have the choice, I definitely would start over here, and if you already know how to solve a 3x3, I'd recommend trying to solve a 2x2 without a tutorial first. It's basically just like the corners of a 3x3. But if you don't know how to solve a 3x3, we're going to have to start off on the 2x2 with something called notation. And so basically what you're going to be doing in this method is you'll have a couple of different steps, and for each of those steps you're going to have to execute a series of moves. And this is called an algorithm. What I just did there was an algorithm. It just kind of moved pieces around in a way that I wanted it to. And the individual moves that you do during an algorithm are defined by notation. And so this right here would be a U move because I'm turning the upper face like this. So just turning the upper face 90 degrees clockwise would be a U move. If you turned it 90 degrees counterclockwise, that would be called U prime like this. And if you turn the side twice like this in either direction, that would be a U2 move. You also have the right side right here, so this would be an R move, turning it clockwise. An L move would be turning the left side clockwise. This would be L prime, this would be R prime. You also have D down here for down, that would be clockwise. That would be a D2, and that would be a D prime. And also for the back and front faces, you have things like F, F2, F prime, and then B, B prime. And of course, you can also string those moves together into an algorithm. So the very first algorithm you're going to have to use is this. R prime, D prime, R, D, just like that. So you turn that side counterclockwise, counterclockwise, clockwise, clockwise. And so now that our cube is scrambled up, we can go ahead and use that algorithm and begin. So what we want to do is we want to find a piece, basically anything on the puzzle with three sides like this is a piece. We want to find a piece that has white on it. And so this piece right here has white on it because you can see the sticker right here is white. And so we're going to start by building the white layer around this piece. So we want to put this piece in, and this piece in. So we'll choose one of these two colors that we want to expand upon it. I'll just choose blue for this case. And we'll find another piece that also has white on it and it has blue. And so in this case, it happens to be right down here. And what we want to do is make it so this piece is directly underneath the slot where it needs to go into. And so the slot where it needs to go into is, of course, right next to it where white and blue are. So this will be the blue side, this will be the white side, and so the other piece with white and blue on it needs to go right here. And so to do that, we can simply do a down move like this, and that will bring it into the spot right underneath where it needs to go. And now we can just start by doing that algorithm. R prime, D prime, R, D. You can tell that it's not incorrectly, so we want to keep doing it. I'm just repeating the exact same four moves over and over again, and eventually it'll get into the right spot where it's oriented and in the right place. And for the first layer, it's as simple as that. You basically find a piece that you want to put in a slot. You use that algorithm a couple times while it's underneath the slot, and it will go in and orient itself correctly. So now we can find a piece with white and orange on it. Happens to already be right in the right spot. We could have had to move it around like this or something like that. But what we do is R prime, D prime, R, D. Sometimes it'll go in right away. Sometimes it takes a little bit more trying around like that to get it in, but eventually it'll go in. And then finally, the very last piece you can tell is white, red, and green. So we can find that right down here, and right underneath the slot we do R prime, D prime, R, D until it gets into place. Now for some mistakes that you want to avoid, when you're putting white pieces in like this, you cannot have two different colors on the adjacent faces like this. So that's why we're checking the colors that need to go next to it. So like we were checking the orange one in this case, but we ended up putting it in the wrong spot, and so we can just move that back down to the bottom layer. Instead, this piece actually needs to go over to here, because this is the white and orange spot, and this is a white and orange corner piece. So instead of moving it over here like it was earlier, we actually want to have it over here. Like that. Also, let's say we're looking for a white and green piece right here. Not that one. It's actually this one right here. It's already in the spot that it needs to go into, but of course it's not oriented correctly. What we can do is just hold it like we normally would, and just do the same exact algorithm. R prime, D prime, R, D, R prime, D prime, R, D. And eventually it'll get into place and it will be oriented correctly. And we can just finish off this first layer once again by putting the last piece in just like that. Also, let's say you're trying to insert a piece next to this one, so it'll be white and red. You look on the bottom layer, there is no white and red corner piece. It's actually over here in the incorrect slot. What you can actually do is do that algorithm, R prime, D prime, R, D, just once, And what that'll do is it'll bring it down to the bottom layer. So now you can line it up like you would normally do under the slot that it needs to go into and do the algorithm until it gets into place. Okay, so now that we're done with the first layer, we're going to move on to the second layer. So this one's actually quite a bit harder than the first layer because you can't just do that algorithm. It'll actually mess up what you have down here already. So instead, we're going to have to learn a new algorithm. Our goal for this step is to get all of these yellow pieces, which is the opposite of white. Yellow is always opposite of white on a cube, by the way. You want to get all of these yellow pieces to face up. So you want to have white on the bottom and yellow on the top. So this is the algorithm that you're going to use. You're going to have to actually use it in a couple of different ways, but I'll show you those in a second. So it is this: R, U, R prime, U, R, U, 2, R prime. Just like that. So I'll be demonstrating that a bunch more times, but if you want to try it out, it shouldn't mess up anything that you've already done on the first layer. After completing that, you should just have the top layer, which has always been messed up, and the bottom layer, which is still complete. If it's not still complete, then you did it wrong. Now real quick, I'm just going to run through the cases. So basically, once you're done with this side, you want to look at this side and see how many yellow pieces are already facing up. So in this case, we have one, which is good. If you just have one yellow piece that is facing up, what you want to do is hold it so it's in this kind of bottom left spot right here. And then what you want to do is that algorithm, R, U, R prime, U, R, U, 2, R prime. And there we go. Sometimes you'll get lucky and it'll happen automatically. Other times when you just have one piece, you'll do the algorithm and nothing will really happen. You'll just still have one piece. In this case, you just have to try it again and then it'll work. Now, after finishing the first layer, if you look on the opposite side and you notice that you have no yellow pieces facing up, that's okay. All you want to do is look at where the yellow pieces are on here. And so in this case, we actually have two of them facing in this direction, and you'll always have at least one set of two of them if you have no pieces that are oriented on the top. And so if you have two of them like this, you want to hold them to the left side and then do the algorithm. And now you'll have one of them, and we can just hold that to this side and do it again. And now you'll have the yellow side solved. Again, whenever you have no yellow pieces facing up on this opposite side, you'll always have at least one set of these yellow pieces together like this. In this case, we actually have two of them. Just hold it to the left side, do the algorithm, and then now you'll have one of them. You can do it again a couple times, maybe once, and then it will solve. Now finally, if you flip the cube around and you notice that you already have two yellow pieces that are facing up, this is what you want to do. Basically, you just want to turn the cube around until you notice that you have a single yellow piece right here, kind of on the front left piece. And so you just kind of turn it around, no yellow piece. This one's over here, but not in the correct spot. Just turn it around until eventually you'll have one of them right here. And once you have a yellow sticker right here in the front left, as long as you have two of them that are already facing up, all you can do is that same algorithm once again. And now you'll be left with just one, and now you can hold it in the correct spot. Maybe turn it around once, and then now you'll have this side completed. Now I know that may have seemed really complicated, but that's just because there's a lot of cases and I want to make it as easy as possible to recognize which case you have and then be able to solve it as efficiently as possible using only that one algorithm. So that's the most efficient way you can do it. Now finally, the last step will be quite a bit easier than that previous one. What you want to do is just look around this last row of unsolved stickers until you find two of them that are next to each other. And so in this case, we have two red ones right next to each other. You won't always have two that are next to each other, but normally you will. And what you want to do is just situate those so they're in the back, just like this. And actually you want to turn the cube over here. So you'll have white in the front, yellow in the back, and these two pieces way in the very back. Now from here, you're going to perform a pretty simple algorithm. All it is R prime, U, R prime, D2, R, U prime, R prime, D2, R2. And then at this point, sometimes it'll be solved, sometimes you'll have one extra move to do, but from here it should be solved. However, there is one more quick case I need to go through. If you get to this last step and you notice that there are no pieces next to each other, like they're all different, and there's just no pairs of correct pieces, all you want to do is hold white in the front like you did earlier, yellow in the back, of course. It doesn't matter which orientation as long as it's like this, and do that same algorithm, R prime, U, R prime, D2, R, U prime, R prime, D2, R2, and then you want to look around here, and now you will have a pair of them. So again, you put the pair in the back like this, hold it so that white is in the front, and do this algorithm, and then the cube will become solved. And so here we go, we are now done with this tutorial. You should be able to now solve your 2x2 from any position. Again, what you want to do is start with one corner piece, build on corner pieces next to that until you have one completed layer. You want to get the yellow pieces all facing up using this algorithm like that. And then finally you want to finish off making all the pieces in the right spot by using this algorithm. So if there is anything confusing to you about this tutorial, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Make sure to be very specific so I know exactly what your problem is and exactly how to solve it. If you're just telling me that one of the steps won't work, well, of course I can't solve that problem because I don't know what's happening on your cube. I don't know what your problem exactly is. So yeah, go ahead and go through this tutorial. Go ahead and try and find a solution. If not, go ahead and leave a comment down below. And that's pretty much it for this video. Now I realize this video was definitely longer than the original one, but that was just my attempt to give you a more detailed explanation so it would hopefully make more sense, and also to show you a little bit of a better method that is a lot more efficient and less confusing than the old one that I showed you. Again, leave any requests for help down in the comments below and I'll be sure to get back to you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!